Your quality of movement is determined by 3 factors, and we use these in sports science. Follow this pen. Quality of movement, right? Number 1 is going to be your stability, right? Number 1, stability. Number 2 is an important one. This is mobility. And number 3 is going to be your level of control. 3 factors there. Quality of movement we use in sports science. Mobility is definitely more of a skill than anything else. It requires loads of micro movements from all these small muscles all around the body, depending on the movement you're doing. You could be doing the monkey walk, walking on a hand railing, or if you're weird enough like me, doing a pistol squat on a wobble board, just like so. That is stability. So if I've got really bad stability when doing movements like this, my quality of movement would be very, very poor, because I'd be wobbling all over the place and there would be no elegance. Just like if I was doing the quadrupedal walk, I'm right here, nice and steady. My stability is actually quite good. Without any stability, I'm moving, I'm stumbling, I'm falling down, there's no control in what I do here. The quality of movement is ruined. Slow is controlled and controlled is fast. Have you ever heard that before? That is a very act of stability, how you get better at it. If you're not stable enough, it's very simply because your muscles are not developed and you've not got the coordination at such a slow, unstable position to be able to control your stability. That's why we can use tools such as the wobble board, or very simply just moving slower in awkward positions in order to make it better. If I wanted to get better at the quadrupedal walk that I would be doing, tabletop, very slow shoulder taps. I'd be doing alternate raises. I would even be doing some full planks, arms on the wall board there to get my shoulders all steady rather than being, how they might be if I wasn't as stable. One of the best tools for building stability is pace of practice. You want to slow that right down. And point number 2 is mobility. If your mobility is massively impinged and reduced, your quality of movement will massively, massively suffer. Take something as simple as a sumo shuffle, for example. I'm in a flat foot squat, and if you can't get in a flat foot squat, you're definitely going to suffer with the mobility. But even moving forwards, so then shuffling the feet in line with the hands there. If my mobility is so reduced that I can barely shuffle my feet forward, the quality of my movement is going to be very low and poor. Mobility is so vital to quality of movement. But what is mobility and how does it differ to flexibility? As you may know, flexibility is the passive stretching of soft tissue, right? So for example, right now I'm stretching my hamstring, and that's pretty much it. Of course I'm stretching the ligaments and tendons in the back of the leg also, but it's very passive, there's no range of motion, I'm in a static position. As opposed to mobility. A perfect example of hamstring mobility would be the single leg deadlift, for example. I'm on one leg here. I've probably got a kettlebell or a dumbbell, maybe even a barbell in my hands here, and I'm balancing on one leg. The leg has a slight bend in the knee, and I'm hinging at the hips. If I'm holding a dumbbell or kettlebell, I'm bringing the weight in the opposite hand to the opposite leg, and I'm driving back through the hips and glutes, all the way up nice and strong, and then back down once again, just like so. And the way that differs is on the way down, I'm stretching the hamstring, getting an active stretch while there's still resistance there. I'm still keeping resistance in the muscle because I'm not dropping. Even though the weight would be dragging me down, there's still resistance there. I come all the way down and maximize that stretch, and I've still got tension in the hamstring. On my way back up, of course I am driving from the glute, but I'm also therefore driving from the hamstring because my leg is bent and I'm driving back with the heel. I'm getting an active contraction in the hamstring there. That is hamstring mobility as opposed to hamstring flexibility, and the principles are the exact same across every body part when it comes to flexibility versus mobility. Level of control is all down to the muscles and how strong they are and how they work with your coordination. If you've not got a great level of control, you'll have no elegance and you won't be able to move through different levels and different ranges of your range of motion. For example, take the handstand walk. If I'm stumbling around like this, there's no elegance or quality of movement. My muscles are not used to holding the handstand and I'll eventually fall down in failure. However, if I have control over the muscles and I have great control of movement, the quality of movement can be a lot higher because I can control exactly if I walk backwards or if I want to walk forwards. I can control exactly what I do, where I move, and therefore my whole quality of movement is far, far higher. Ultimately, what we need to do is we need to combine all these three together, because when these three combine, what do we get? We get the top control and quality of movement. Excuse my handwriting there, but that is what we're looking at. That's your formula. If your stability is off, then of course there's no contribution there. How on earth can that be top quality of movement? Same with mobility, same with level of control. What are you lacking and what do you not train? Do you actually do stability training throughout your whole body, for your wrists, for your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles? Do you do mobility? Do you do hip flexor mobility? Brutal and it burns. I'm terrible for it and I know that's where I need to improve. Do you actually have great control with the muscles? Do you do resistance training? All these things will determine the quality of movement, the quality of you as a practitioner, and how well you actually perform. Thank you very much.